123 ABC Kickass here, and again I'm with my special guest, Mr. Philisophicalbrony, who's going to continue telling us, well, actually give us an update, I suppose, on his Tulpa and Tulpa forcing. Hello, Brony.
Hey there, people of the internet.
The crazy people of the internet. So, how is your Tulpa? Xena is her name?
Yes.
How is she going?
Pretty well, as far as I'm concerned, given my time constraints and other things I've had to balance. But so far, it's good progress because she's developing more of a personality on her own, and the more I force, the less I really have to pay attention to what she's doing because she's already doing stuff on her own. See if that makes sense?
So, how long, I don't imagine you've kept an active record or log as to how many hours roughly you spend Tulpa forcing?
I was keeping a track in the beginning, but I've also heard that keeping a log can actually be kind of like a mental block, so I stopped. I'd say we're going around 20 days of pursuing this, and hour-wise, probably getting close to 30 hours of solid forcing, maybe.
That's a good time span, eh?
Yeah, something hours. Like that.
So what is it? Sentience was on that Tulpa blog. It said 50 hours or so. Was that it, or?
Anywhere from 25 to 100 hours. Just depends on how much you dedicate yourself and how well your brain adapts to the idea, in a sense.
So that's pretty cool. So you said something to me last, a week ago or something about Tulpas. You can, your Tulpa can become attracted to you. So it's like yourself, your subconscious becoming more attracted to your consciousness.
Yeah, that actually happens a lot because one thing you have to understand is Tulpas they like to be in existence, and in order for that to happen, you have to pay attention to them and remember that they're in existence, otherwise they'll just kind of fade away. That's as far as the psychology goes behind it. So what happens is you generally develop just what would be the word, platonic love for them, just because they're there. It's unconditional. You just love them like a child almost, or a brother. But then opposite gender especially, it's very easily to get attracted to someone who you never get away from, ever.
Yeah, I suppose.
Plus, they can change themselves whenever they want, so if they know what your fetish is or something, that's piece of cake for them.
So it's like your mind subdues yourself.
Yeah, it can play out that way, but because they're sentient, you can talk to them and say I don't want this to happen, or I'm okay with this, blah. But whatever. Sometimes they listen, sometimes they don't. Whatever happens.
Well, that's pretty kind of scary, a little bit, but
yeah, but I can think of a lot of worse things than Tulpas inserting lewd images of themselves in your head.
Yeah, I suppose you could just be on the internet.
Yeah, exactly.
Where I guess we all happen to dwell. There's a lot of scary things on the internet.
Yeah.
Alright, okay, so people basically have the rundown of Tulpas, and they're rather interesting. I'm interested to see if anyone's actually gonna go out and create a Tulpa and let us know about it. I haven't heard anything yet, but maybe one day somebody will. But now, since somebody else touched on the subject of the whole Brony fandom, maybe you can tell us a little bit about modern day Bronies. Or is it modern day? Were they ever old, or were they just weird back then?
Probably more along the lines of weird, but it has been around for a while, the fandom, because we're in 2012 and it started in 2010, so it's been around for a few years. In the beginning, because it was such an underground sort of thing, it was a lot of people with very high self-esteem and very good standing with themselves. They can laugh at themselves, all that stuff. Just very socially durable people, and they watched the show and they weren't afraid of the repercussions, because what you have to understand is what we're watching is the latest reboot of the My Little Pony series, and this one is directed by the same person that had a role in the Powerpuff Girls and Samurai Jack, if you remember those shows.
I love Samurai Jack.
I know. That's kind of what roped me in too. So there's makers that from those shows in this, and it kind of shows throughout the writing and the animation. Not to mention, it's a different style of animation, which is very nicely done. So it's just quality work, and people recognize that. Plus, the writing is it's family oriented, but there's jokes and cameos and stuff that were just spectacular. Because, like, ever watched Big Lebowski? In the second season of My Little Pony, they actually ponified the characters from Big Lebowski and made them cameo in a bowling scene, which was super hilarious. Jeff Bridges' pony was amazing. So as popularity grew, and because of the kind of love and tolerance mentality and acceptance that a lot of the early bronies showed, it grew in popularity too. And then there was flame wars and stuff, 4chan, everything divided itself, a whole bunch of gay for ponies or love and tolerate. That was kind of the big flame war back a year and a half ago. Then it kind of cooled down, and it started to really get popular. But when it really got popular, a lot of those ideals that the previous bronies had been living by kind of boiled away. So then it's where the actual hate started to generate, where bronies would shove the show down other people's throats, whether they thought about the repercussions or not, blah, blah, blah. That's where a lot of the modern hate comes from, and I can totally understand that, because it's warranted. I agree. And now I think it's finally starting to die down again, because there was a super huge wait between season 2 and season 3. Season 3 actually just, the premiere episodes just came out this weekend. And in that time, a lot of the fair weather bandwagon jumpers, they just kind of dissipated, the ones who were causing havoc. So it's kind of getting down back to the people who are more tolerant and acceptant of ideas and views.
So you don't feel like your manlyhood is being challenged at all by watching animated ponies with rainbow tails and sparkles hopping around?
I did at first, but I don't anymore, because the more you watch it, the less humiliating it is, because you start to see the core characteristics. Plus, you know, it's a show. It's not really going to make a difference one way or the other. Plus, I like to support the fandom because they're also producers of extremely good video graphics and music. I mean, just check on YouTube. There's such a plethora of free music made by bronies just because they can. It's fantastic. Like, look up Sim Gretna. He makes like a new song almost every day. He's fantastic.
Alright, we'll keep that in mind. So we're at the 9-minute mark, so we'll have to end this video for the day, but it's been a good chat. But hey, just out of my own curiosity, I'm wondering what everybody that watches this video, how old they'll think you are, Mr. Philosophical Brony. So we're gonna leave that as an open-ended challenge, you guys. How old do you think this chap is? I'm rather curious.
We'll see. We'll see what they think.
Indeed.
I'm kind of curious too.
I can imagine. So thank you very much, good sir, for the coffee. We are a day late, but that's okay. It happens.
Yep, definitely.
Alright, we will see you next weekend, my friend.
Later, peoples.